and the other people would award it differently. Looking forward to this one here. And, of course, on top of that, I mean, let's be honest, there's going to be a fair amount of the people in the chat that are going to be saying, hey, we want at least one guy from North America in this final, right? And make it a battle of the nations here. If you're asking Gian, he does not believe that. He wants to just go ahead and throw his darts his way and get some wins on the board.
Yeah, guys, grab your popcorn. Just scoot to the edge of your seat. You won't need the rest.
I mean, what is your expectations for this matchup, right? I mean, just going off your guttural instinct here.
If they're, I mean, it depends. They're gonna play off each other, right? If one of them averages over 100, they both will, or they'll both be right around it. If they both struggle a little bit, or if one of them struggles a little bit, they both will struggle a touch, and maybe it'll be around a 91, 92, which is their struggle in this moment. Jermaine Wadamina awaits the winner of this in the final. Again, these players guaranteed $1,000. A win here adds an extra $2K on top of that automatically with a chance to win $6.
Yeah, then that's a tantalizing prize in front. Alex Spellman trying to find a tantalizing triple as well as, look at this, lighting it up at the right moment. Oh, my goodness.
Spellman leaves 60 after 12, or 50 after 12. Did you shoot the bull here just to get it started on the right foot?
For how methodical he is, I would highly doubt that he takes the bull shot.
That's not him at all.
That's not his style.
He would rather do that every day of the week. 14 dart, hold a throw in leg number 1 for Spellman. He sets the tone that this is going to be a match that Van Veen's going to really have to work for. And he's up for that task.
Of course he is.
I guarantee you that.
He absolutely should be up for this task. And, you know, you look at Alex Spellman, we kind of mentioned just there how methodical he is. He is one of the most self-analytic players I've ever seen. He is talking about every point of his throw. He's thinking about his arm position, his dart, the angles of everything, the wind trajectory probably. He's looking at local weather reports maybe.
No, he's not.
To the point, though, where he is hyper-analytical of his game, which makes him a great coach, mind you. But also one of those things where when things are going well, he knows it's going well and can continue to replicate that as much as he can.
But he's also very good at adjusting his throw if things are not going well. Sometimes being over-analytical can harm, definitely. In his case, it does not do that. If he was not over-analytical, he wouldn't be as good as he is.
Yeah, and that is the pros and cons of the situation there. Alex, unfortunately, on the outside looking in on this leg, it looks like
for sure.
as he's just trailing by a little bit here.
Yeah, let's just say bye-bye to this leg. Gian Van Veen has a million years at 121 right now. Just tease it up a little bit nicely.
Yeah, wanted to probably get a little bit more out of that one, but it's going to be just fine there and will certainly suit the case.
I think it'll be fine for tops on the tee-up. With Spellman back on 355 and not getting anywhere closer.
That's the Florida math of me, by the way.
Fair. Tops. Now double 10. And he pins the double 15. That's too many, in case you were still worried about that Florida math.
Appreciate that.
So Spellman going to look at the bottom of the board, 306 left. Now going up. And that is going to be a dart that he's going to hate, that second dart.
I think right now what Spellman is thinking is, okay, well, this leg is obviously probably not going to go my way. I'm going to just focus on making sure I'm ready for the next one, and that's entirely where his headspace is at. He is not really focused on the current state of this one, and right now Van Veen is kind of struggling a little bit towards the tail end, and Alex is probably also thinking, man, what if I did hit a couple more big rounds?
You're not wrong on both of those statements, and unfortunately for Spellman, you're just gifting Van Veen a winning leg when it's a 19 dart hole to throw, and he won't do that again.
Yeah,
he won't do that again.
You can't do that again. When you're talking first to 5 format, it is still, I mean, don't get me wrong, it is a slightly extended format, but it's not as much as you think, and those separations can come at any point. If you throw the 19 dart game at the wrong time, it is maybe over for your tournament run.
Right now, both of them struggle bussing.
It goes in suit. When one player misses, sometimes the other one. But, of course, when one hits, the other one can as well.
Yeah, that's a 180 from Alex Spellman. The first 2 darts, you just knew. You knew. I didn't want to call it out, but you knew.
And it was also great placement on that last dart, just put right on top of those 2 barrels. Not much if, ands, or but about that one. I do love with Alex Spellman, if you actually look at his flights there, he's a big believer of you don't need to change him out too much. As apparently they're working just fine at the moment. And you can see they actually have a little bit of fraying and everything like that. He's like, they work just fine. As long as they're all attached and everything like that, it's fine. And Van Veen, on the other hand, you can see, usually tries to keep them pretty prim and proper, it seems.
Spellman in fuego in this leg. And he knows that really he only has to throw great in 5 legs. And those are going to be the 5 legs that he gets to throw in with an automatic advantage. The problem is that he's playing against a kid, and I'm going to call him a kid. He's 22, but I'm 36, so I'm allowed to say it. He's playing against a kid who, even if Spellman throws great with the throw, he could still lose that leg.
Well, and as Spellman is going to try to take this one right here, is not going to underestimate somebody based off age. I mean, going from the Carolina area as well. I mean, very familiar. PJ Stewart.
I was
and
just
all those
calling him a
guys.
kid just because we need to be reminded that he is a kid. Another one of those. Oh, he moves to the 16s.
Yeah, it does collect on the last one there, but I think the first one just looked good enough where you almost kind of want to stay for momentum purposes.
Yeah, actually, even if he didn't agree with where that first start was laying in the treble, I still think the better shot there is tops than instead. But Spellman gets it done, cleans it up nicely. It's a 2-1 lead for the American from Fuquay Varina, North Carolina.
Finding 100 for Van Veen to get things going here. Again, he's just going to focus on playing those consistent turns here in, here out. And the fanfare and the fancy shots will come in the right times when you need them most. And everything else in between, you just need to make sure it's dialed in as much as you can.
I love this, by the way. There's a lot of people there watching this stage action happening. You can see Steve Brown, director of the JDC, in the background, also watching along. It's 9:33, so the blind draw is just getting started or about to get started. So this is the moment where as many players are in the room as going to be in the room, and this is a semifinal that I would be glued to as well.
Yeah, how do you not watch this, right? I mean, this is literally darts that would be televised overseas as well. I mean, with the standard, with the ability of these players, the notoriety of them, and what's on the line here for these players.
Let us know in the chat. Who are you rooting for? Who do you have in this? What's the final score prediction? 2-1 lead here for Spellman. And while you're at it, just hit that share button. It's super easy. It's right next door. And if you're not a subscriber, if you're on YouTube, definitely hit that subscribe button. If you're on Facebook, definitely follow USA Darts. Bring you coverage almost every week, sometimes more than once a week.
Depending on these weeks. Nowadays, there's more and more events going on here in North America, and we're happy to cover each and every one of them. It's basically how it is nowadays. Yeah. Well, 144 might have to go because Alex Spellman does get himself to a finish there and a big find on the 140.
It's not going to go, but Van Veen's got to assume that he's going to be back.
I don't assume anything when playing Spellman.
Staying right there. Look at this. Double 14. That's a big 148 checkout for the Jackal.
And that's why you don't assume anything when you're playing Alex Spellman.
Wow. 15-dart break a throw. That's the first haymaker thrown in this match. Spellman, though, needs to settle in. This is, of course, what you do after a 148 checkout, right? You struggle early. You can't kick it from here because I guarantee you that's going to motivate Van Veen to perform better in this leg.
Yeah, it's certainly the case. And, we talk about the John Park golden rule, right? I mean, 2-leg separation from the winning for Alex Spellman and 2-leg separation for Van Veen from Alex Spellman. Right now, I mean, it's just foot on the pedal. That's entirely what your thought process is going to be here for Alex. It's just keep doing what you're doing. It's slowly going in your favor. And Van Veen, honestly, really isn't doing much wrong, but it's not the tightest performance we've seen from him, especially on paper.
No, but his average is just going to continue to rise from this point in this match. I guarantee it. Spellman's going to have to do the same. And he can do the same, and he will, if Van Veen Van Veen starts to. And the chat's not wrong. I am saying an L for no reason.
Well, that's an L for you then, Sean.
Very much so. And Van Veen, in the process of attacking the throw, leaves 121 after 9. Spellman really needs a couple troubles. 3 obviously is very nice.
He's going to go for 3.
He's looking somewhere else. At the bull, try to utilize that to leave a 2-dart finish.
He wanted to guarantee the 3 treble call from both of us was wrong there.
For sure.
1-2-1.
Gonna get a dart.
How good of a dart will it be? It's going to be a good one.
Double 14. And Spellman's already taken out the 148. The 140 technically is just as difficult.
I was going to say about the same level of difficulty, and it's not going to go this time. He's going to have to just try to apply pressure on the 28 and see if some double trouble. I mean, we saw double trouble in leg 1. It could be something that happens again here, and maybe it doesn't, but in either case, he's in a good position with that 3-1 advantage currently. Van Veen
has attacked the throw nicely, now just needs to wrap it up. Double 7. Nobody likes double 7.
needs to get over that dart.
And he doesn't. Spellman would love 2 clear darts at a double. He's looking tops. No, he's not. That would have been crazy.
He's only going to get 1 dart for the double. What a dart it would be for him. Double 20. Doesn't go. Leave himself on 40.
You see the reaction from Soldier there in the background. Going to be rooting for his friend, his American friend.
Yeah, you got national pride on the line here.
Double 7 goes for Gian Van Veen. It's now 3-2. That's a break of throw. We're back on throw. And you see that average just starting to creep up for the 22-year-old Dutch player and 31 ranked player in the world.
And this is a big moment, too. I mean, it just hold a throw here does so much in the longevity of this matchup here to get yourself into the scenario where, you know, the last leg nervy darts start to potentially come out from either side or from neither side with how well these guys have been keeping their composure on the stage today.
Can we also talk about how impressive it is to be the 31st ranked player in the world? After Luke Lidler finished in the final of the World Arts Championship, he moved to 31st in the world with that much prize money that he won in that one tournament. So Gian Van Veen has had to have consistent success on tour over the past 2 years in order to be ranked in that position. He's made the most of his 2-year tour card. Now, currently, he gets a bye in the first round of the World Arts Championship.
And, I mean, it goes without saying, when you have these youth talents that start developing good habits early on, it can lead to some very promising careers. And on top of that, natural talent always plays a factor to a certain extent.
And if you don't think Steve Brown, director of the JDC, is back there not smiling really big in the fact that John comes from that program.
That he does, and Spellman now going to need to get himself to a finish here to pressure the 76. Because right now, Van Veen's doing everything right to cover that 3-1 deficit, make it chalk across the board here.
It might only be 1 dart at the double. Just kidding. Double 8. For a tie ball game. Great marker.
That was almost too good of a marker. Catching right on that barrel and just flicking over to the left just a tad. 1-2-1. Not going to go. Didn't stay true in that first dart. You have to take that extra moment. It doesn't quite release the way he would have wanted to there, and you can see the frustration on his face a little bit.
Cleanup duty for Van Veen. It's going to be double 4. You know my thoughts on it.
Your thoughts have stayed true on it.
And he grabs the double 2 on the last dart to make it a 3-3 scoreline.
And that was a great hold of throw there after the break to get himself into this position here.
It's a best 2 out of 3. $2,000 is the difference.
To play Jermaine Wadamina in the final there. No matter who gets to that match, it's going to be a barn burner, as this one currently is as well. We
have the chat, McNamara, saying GVV doesn't lose another leg, is the statement he's making. He goes, I would love to see Spellman take it, but that's what his brain is telling him over his heart.
I'll take the over.
I would agree. I very much think Spellman wins at least one more leg. It doesn't hurt that he's in the driver's seat of this one currently.
Well, he has to be careful, though, because Van Veen at any moment can kind of close that distance, and this is the moment where he's going to try to do so. This is where timing matters. Moments like this, where it's a slight off shot, as it looks like they're going to correct that real quick.
Yeah. They both knew. They both would have easily have done that. As soon as Spellman realized that Bruce had made that error.
Does find a 19 on the last start there to go ahead and try to bring up that score and close that distance, but Alex Spellman still in the driver's seat. Is the foot on the pedal? It is.
What type of pressure will it be under? Zero.
Yeah, I was going to say that's best case scenario, 6 starts for 118. Good position for the Jackal here. He's going to get a dart. To go to match point, Spellman.
He will return with tops. And how about this? The Gambler is putting his wager out there. GVV has struggled in last leg deciders. I see it 5-4 Alex.
Interesting calls all across the board here. Alex to get to match point once again.
Double 10.
The red bit.
And the last thing you can do is you cannot give GVV a shot at 160. You cannot give GVV a shot at 160.
Yeah, we talked about the timing of the 148 for Alex Spellman. Don't count out Van Veen either.
This would be better. This would be better.
Took that extra moment to gain composure, and it doesn't go.
I think all of us did a breath of relief there, but Spellman still got to finish it off, or else. Never mind, doesn't matter. Does finish off. What a great last start. That was huge.
Yeah, no, massive moment of composure there on those last 3 darts. Obviously, Alex Spellman not happy with how many darts it took and how much of a scare that was, but Van Veen's not going to think about it for too long, it seems.
Yeah, how about that? It was a 21-dart hold-to-throw at the end of the day, but there's so much drama in those last 6 darts between both players.
Yeah, and there's going to be continued drama here in this leg, it seems.
Look at this from Van Veen. 140, Nick Dichiria.
Yeah, not bad. I mean, if you're going to score, finding 2 treble visits is the difference maker. We saw with Luke Littler's run in the World Championship that kind of got him on the map for many people, was the fact that just every time he was always finding 2. And then when he was hitting the 180s, that's great. When you're hitting the 100s, that's fine. But if you're finding 2 trebles every time you go up, you're going to be feeling fantastic on that level of consistency.
Well, misses the 25 or bowl setup on the last dart, so he's back a little bit further than he wants to be. Spellman needs 2 trebles. Not going to do it. So this looking so far like the Gambler is on the right
path there.
Yeah, looks like it's going to go to a last leg decider unless something crazy happens like double trouble from GVV, which is obviously something that can always happen.
Yeah, on top of that, I mean, I always say never count Alex Spellman, but of course he's on the outside looking in with this particular leg here.
Pressure. Not max, but enough.
We'll see if it's enough. Double 20 to get us to a tie-breaking leg.
And it goes in the double 10. Last leg decider in this second semifinal. It's been a battle. The averages have been less than desirable, but the actual results of this match have been anything but.
Yeah, and this is important for Alex Spellman. He has the throw here in this last leg, and he's going to take advantage of it with that open there. Oh, my goodness, a 1-3-7 to get things going. Van Veen going to try to respond in suit.
Great last start. Needed last start.
And Alex kind of drops that first one a little bit low for him. You see it's even pitched up a little bit. He might have to find a cover.
Uh-oh.
Doesn't. He decided to stay, and it kind of almost overthrew that last start. Opening here for Van Veen.
And he just says, no thank you.
Yeah, I was going to say, opportunity squandered there a little bit.
See him? He goes, shucks, in the background, which, by the way, might be the best demeanor in something like that you could have.
Yeah, you just have to kind of shake it off there, especially given the pressure of the moment. The more you can smile and wave, the better you'll feel.
And there's a lot of players that would do that and then immediately get frustrated, but not him. And he follows the 180 after the 30, immediately makes up for the misstep.
Yeah, right back into the leg here, and in fact, leading the pack between him and Spellman at the moment. Spellman not going to be able to leave a finish now.
Yeah, the advantage has been stolen from Van Veen. He now has 6 darts from 191 for an all-Dutch final in a battle of the jorts.
That it would be. Does find that last start into the 19s there, putting himself in excellent position.
Huge last start.
Alex Spellman needs to stay cool and collected and find a little bit of magic here.
Soldier's starting to pout because his friend's behind.
Taking that extra moment, very methodical player.
Hits the 140. That's huge.
That was a must find to put pressure.
Bowl?
We'll see what Van Veen does here.
Yeah, I think you have to. 69 left. And honestly, that's a good marker for the bowl.
He's going to have to use it.
For the match. Wow.
Oh, my goodness, by a millimeter.
That could not have been closer. Spellman, 80 left. If he stays true, he'll have at least 1 dart at his favorite double.
It's only going to be 1 dart. Doesn't go to the Jackal here. You can see everyone kind of just looking around, wiring the doubles. Which wire will be on the favorable side for these players?
Beautiful first dart. Double 8. 2 darts incoming for the match. You see him take an extra moment there. And that is maturity. And Gian Van Veen wins it 5-4 over the Jackal Alex Spellman, who's going to be kicking himself that he didn't hit that double at the end. But, wow, what a battle.
Yeah, that was down in the trenches a little bit for these guys. I mean, they had these very explosive moments, and then they had these moments where they were really just kind of dogfighting it out there a little bit. And Spellman's going to be a little bit upset in the sense that he had that 3-1 advantage, and it did not go his way at the end. But, I mean, really what that was Van Veen doing stuff right.